Today on Focal Point, we're going to learn what it's like to host the CCPTV show Academic Dialogues with Dr. Judith Gay, Interim President of Community College of Philadelphia. Hear what students think about medical marijuana and hear a discussion about English as a career. Stay with us. Hi, welcome to Focal Point on CCPTV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I am Darlene Monts, a student in the Communication Arts curriculum here at CCP. We have another exciting show for you today. I am here with Dr. Judith Gay, Interim President of Community College of Philadelphia and host of CCPTV's program, Academic Dialogues. Welcome, Dr. Gay. Welcome, Dr. Gay.
Thank you, Darlene.
Tell us a little about Academic Dialogues.
Well, Academic Dialogues program was developed to showcase the talent of faculty and staff at Community College of Philadelphia. When we started the program, we were really trying to make sure that the public realized the wealth of talent we have here in terms of our faculty and staff. So it really is a program where I interview faculty or staff about special things that they've been doing recently. So if a faculty member has published something, for example, a book or an article, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk to faculty who were just recognized with some honor or award. And particularly we've been interviewing faculty who've won the Lindback Award for teaching excellence, and having them talk a little bit about what teaching excellence means to them. So it was really just to showcase our faculty and staff.
Does it take a lot of time and effort to be the host of a popular program?
It does take time and effort to do an interview program, because what you have to do really is to understand who the guest is and what you're trying to highlight in terms of what they do. So after reading their books or their articles or attending a presentation that they've done, then I create questions that I think will be of interest. And it's always hard to guess how many questions you actually need. And you also have to make it more of a conversation. So when someone says, responds to a question, you might go off in a different direction. In the meantime, sometimes guests like to see what the questions are ahead of time. So they want to know the general topics you're going to be talking about. And you don't want them to feel like you've thrown them a fastball or a different pitch because you're asking different questions. But because it is a conversation, if they say something particularly interesting, you want to go in that direction as well. So that it really does go back and forth.
How did you get involved with the program?
Well, I got involved with the program because we, in academic fairs, were given responsibility for the college's television station. And I don't really have a background in television production, so it was quite a challenge. I turned to my associate dean for our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Liberal Studies, Dr. Sharon Thompson, and we started the process of making an educational station that would have enough educational content to have 8 hours of continuous but not repetitive programming. So when we were sitting down trying to figure out what would these programs be, I thought, well, I really am interested in making sure that the public is aware of how strong our faculty is. It started mostly with faculty, not so much thinking about the staff, but thinking about the faculty and the wonderful faculty that we have at the college and wanting to make sure that the public knew about that. So I suggested that we do an interview program where I would interview faculty. I didn't know if I would be any good at interviewing, but I thought I'm free. You didn't have to pay me to do it. So the idea was we would put this program on. We didn't have a title for it at that time. I actually think the staff came up with the title Academic Dialogues. I didn't have an idea what to call it. So it really was a collaborative effort to get one of the first programs on the station up and going. So it was exciting. Well, it was very exciting. It was very exciting. And it's been a privilege to actually have the program continue on the station.
Has it been what you expected?
It's been more than I expected, actually. The response has been amazing. So much so that occasionally, when I would be walking around the school or downtown, people would say, "I've seen you on TV." Oh. And that was totally unexpected that people would be watching the program. I know when we first started the program, one of the deans said, "Well, nobody watches TV anymore. Why are we doing this?" And as it turned out, there are a lot of people that actually do channel surfing and actually do watch television. Yes. So it turned out to be a great experience for me.
We have a clip of an interview with Assistant Professor Donald Scott talking about his book on Camp William Penn. Let's take a look.
So Camp William Penn, how did you find out about this particular facility? It's very close to Philadelphia. And certainly plays a major role in the history of the Civil War. How did you get interested in this topic?
Actually, as a reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer during the late 1980s, I wrote a number of stories regarding Cheltenham Township. One of the stories really hit a chord in me, which was about Camp William Penn. And I was just so fascinated that almost 11,000 black soldiers had trained there during the Civil War, that many of the major abolitionists of the period, including Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, and others, visited the camp and actually spoke there.
Fascinating. What do you hope the audience will learn from viewing the program?
Well, I think one of the things that I learned was that there was a historic, in the region, a historic event, a series of events that there was through Camp William Penn, a connection to the African American community that is so close by Philadelphia that we should be aware of it. Something that probably people in the area have family members who may have been stationed at Camp William Penn.
Tell us what we can expect this season.
Well, since I've been serving as the interim president, I have not actually had time to think about programming very much. But in addition to the faculty that we already have at the college, we've been hiring new faculty. That means new ideas, new opportunities to profile some of our faculty and also some of our staffs. So there's just so much talent here. The sky's the limit in terms of what we can profile. We have a reentry program, Tara Timberman does. I think it would be nice to highlight not just faculty accomplishments, but some of the great programs and initiatives that we have at the college. We have an initiative for homeless students, for example, that I think is unique. We have a unique leadership program. So I think there are lots of opportunities to show the public that great things are happening at Community College of Philadelphia and to interview some of the people who are involved in making those things happen.
Good, I'm in agreement with you.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
You can find archived episodes of academic dialogues on the college website and iTunes U. Thanks for being with us, Dr. Gay.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, now let's hear CCP students talk about medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana should be legalized. It's definitely helped out a past family member of mine.
They should legalize it, but in a way they shouldn't, because some people will abuse it.
It definitely has its medical benefits that have been proven.
In a medication, or is added to a medication or a pill or something like that, well yes, why not, but not to smoke it.
No, I don't think we should legalize marijuana.
Not in this country, and it shouldn't be legal anywhere else.
We're not only wasting taxpayers' dollars by, with the drug war and militarizing, our own country, instead of, selling recreational marijuana and taxing the hell out of it and regulating it.
Yes, I think that should be allowed only through prescription.
THC and other chemicals that are found in marijuana can help relieve pain and stress caused by diseases.
I don't think marijuana is addictive.
You can be physically and mentally addicted to almost anything.
You can say soda's addictive, You can say food's addictive.
I think there could be a mental addiction.
But what it really comes down to is a person's habits and their lifestyle.
I know people who smoke it at least 3 times a day, and they don't physically need it. They do it because they're bored.
Teenagers should use marijuana if it is prescribed by a doctor.
Observed by adults, I really don't see why it would be an issue.
Hey, if it's gonna help them, let it help them. They're kids.
Gateway drug? No, I don't believe marijuana is a gateway drug at all.
The real gateway drugs are prescription pills.
Like, if you want to go on to something new, that's your choice.
No, not at all. I do not think that pot's a gateway drug.
I think there should be an FDA approval. The Food and Drug Administration plays a very important part in the distribution of not only food, but drugs and even what we drink.
Medical marijuana should be approved with or without FDA approval.
Without FDA approval?
No.
Why not? It's been around for years. If they're gonna legalize it, they may as well just go ahead and do it.
It's almost like what they did with the cigarette thing. And legalize it until you cause cancer.
I don't think any marijuana gives you cancer.
Alcohol is legal. I don't see why marijuana is illegal.
They might still legalize it, and if they do, what they gonna put on the pack?
You're not aware of your surroundings sometimes.
It kills brain cells.
You won't know where you put your money at.
You may get hungry.
Marijuana is a stupid drug.
I'm not sure of any specific side effects that I can name right now.
I know I couldn't type when I smoked it.
We should really start targeting some actual issues.
Young teenagers that have children that smoke marijuana, and I see the effects that it's having on these children. They don't get enough attention.
People should be able to use marijuana. It should be legalized.
I don't touch it. I don't really think about it that much. So I'm kind of indifferent on that whole front.
I'm 54 years old. I've experienced marijuana. I know that marijuana is a gateway drug. I know that marijuana makes you dumb, stupid, takes away your brain cells. And a person can't accomplish things that they can accomplish in a complete day using marijuana.
Wow, wasn't that interesting? Did you know that there have been some interesting developments in the English department here at Community College of Philadelphia? Let's see what they're up to.
I did the English degree in the fall. And it's a very new degree. We've had a creative writing program for a while, and we managed to have a big launching last year, and at this point we have about 100 majors. And a lot of people feel as though they really love to read, they really love to write, but they don't know where an English degree will lead them.
I majored in English because I absolutely love to read. I mean, from, when I was small, I think I read every book in my parents' house, and I'm sure a lot of people here can relate to that.
For me, it was partly that I love to read and I love to write. But I also really connected with certain professors. And I think once you really connect with the professor in a certain area, you begin to see things more deeply, and it really helps. For me, it was really inspirational and really helped me connect.
There's a kind of conventional wisdom. You get an English degree, you work in Starbucks. This is basically what a lot of people assume. What I wanted to do with this panel was show people that here are these people, they have BAs in English, they have gone on to be lawyers, to be entrepreneurs, to actually start magazines.
So they would just begin to publish and things would just kind of fall into place, and it didn't necessarily happen that way. It happened more or less like I began to do other things like coordinate events and work on editing other people's work. And that happened first before I began to publish my own work.
Probably the strongest skill people learned was how to tell stories. That seemed to be really meaningful to Tom Miller, who started the chain of barbecue.
The biggest challenge I had was actually writing with as few words as possible. So it was like, how do you actually get from here to there in a as direct, not only direct, but in a cogent way, so that the reader is actually doing what I want them to. So
English has been a great foundation for me to do many, many different things. So, as we were saying inside the panel, as long as you are open to being a lifelong learner and continually adding new skill sets, being able to express yourself well and clearly, being able to use language for many different goals is always a great skill to have.
The skill to research, the skill to figure things out, to find things out, to pick people's brains and, to get CEOs of magazines that were already running involved in wanting to help us get on our feet. All of that came from, the ability to articulate ideas.
As I said earlier, I feel like it saved my life. I'm from North Philadelphia, and a lot of the poverty and drugs and disillusionment and the kind of depression that can seep in when you're from that area of the city, it can be really daunting, and I feel like the books that I read and being able to kind of take myself outside of that environment, and the writing, which was, I would say earlier on, more therapeutic. Now it's more about, craft and publishing, but then it was more about, therapy, being able to articulate how I felt about my environment.
Well, that's it for today. I want to thank my guest, Dr. Judith Gay. Thank you.
Thank you again.
And I want to thank you for tuning in. You have been watching Focal Point, the Community College of Philadelphia magazine show on CCPTV, the educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. All segments for Focal Point are produced by the students in the digital video production curriculum. I'm Darlene Monts, a student in Communication Arts curriculum here at CCP. See you next time.